Hello DragonCrafters, this is Warcraft on DragonCraft Productions and welcome to another video. This time we'll be looking at Bastion and answer this question. Should you play it or not? Bastion is an RPG game with platform elements developed by Supergiant Games. It's one of my favorite games of all time, as I believe it was Bastion which refueled my passion for gaming when I was in a pretty dark place. But let's have a look at Bastion, shall we? The first thing I usually talk in these game reviews is the story. In Bastion, I think the story is simple, but not necessarily in a bad way. The plot can be a bit predictable and it's really repeating itself, as it's all about collecting cores, then shards, and that's pretty much it. However, I think the simplicity suits the game rather well, and it shows that a game doesn't really require a complex story in order to be enjoyed by the player. To summarize the story, it's about a kid that wakes up after the calamity has hit in the beautiful city of Ceylondia. In order to restore everything, the kid has to collect power sources, namely the cores, in order to activate the Bastion. During this quest, he must try and search for any survivors and bring them to the Bastion. Bastion has a beautifully rendered world, where it's sort of built up as you walk. This makes an interesting concept of world building in quite the literal sense. Each level is unique to its own matter and has its own story to tell. For example, you can find yourself in a temple of the deities in Bastion and later on in the deep wilds resemble a jungle. Inside the Bastion itself you can build specific buildings that will help you on your quest, such as the arsenal or the shrine. There is a decent variety of enemies that are unique to their own right. Gameplay-wise, Bastion is rather rich. You have many different weapons to choose from and you can choose various combinations of the two, including unique skills that you can use by equipping different weapons. What is more, there are weapon challenges, a really good way to practice with your weapon and master it, as those challenges are tailored around that specific weapon. Another important thing is the interesting difficulty increase. Instead of just choosing between normal or hard, you can choose to evoke the blessings of the gods in the shrine, giving you more experience points as you defeat enemies, but making them react in a different way, like the enemies restoring health every second, or being invulnerable after you hit them once. There are 10 different blessings, giving you a nice variety of things to watch out for. The soundtrack is probably the best thing in Bastion. I have said this many times before, but soundtrack is extremely important in video games, especially story-driven ones. Bastion has everything you might need for that kind of game and then more. Also, the gripping narration is always present, describing the events that have happened. To go even further in, the narrator comments on everything you do and you can discover new lines by trying different things, such as choosing a specific weapon combination. The game is short, you can easily finish the game in one sitting if you choose, especially in the New Game Plus. To compensate for that, Bastion has added levels of constantly spawning enemies for you to fight against, while also telling the story behind each of the main characters. To sum up, Bastion is a game that you should play. It's a wonderful little gem that it's definitely worth of your time, and replayability is actually high as there are many things to try out in it. There are also a set of important choices you can make near the end of the game, giving you different endings if you so choose. Thank you for watching, folks. What is your opinion of Bastion? Tell me in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it and subscribe to the channel for more content. Have a good one.